In contrast to the Monster Garou, we have the universe's dominator, Boros. These two stand out above the majority of the characters in the series. This particular match was fiercely fought for years before the cosmic fear god was created, because many have said it would be a fun fight if they collided. So, who has the upper hand and who can truly outmatch the other? Additionally, I would like to clarify that this matchup is only about monster form Garou versus Boros and not the form that follows. I believe that matchup is fairly self-explanatory and doesn't really need anyone to debate it. Boros, even though Volume 6 is where he initially was depicted to be in the series, still remains one of the most powerful in the series. In here, I'll be going briefly on Boros' best scaling feats and try to include more and clarify better regarding his overall stats. So, as we all recognize, Boros is the first character we've seen who is capable of tanking punches from Saitama and going toe-to-toe with him. He was also suggested to be the same as him, so strong that now it's boring. What makes him a formidable opponent is his regen and healing factor, which would allow him to stay longer in a fight.
I in particular have the godlike traits of self-healing, physical prowess, and latent energy beyond your conception.
There's a number of research that puts Boros higher than most of the monsters we've seen, such as Saitama being astonished by his speed, while easily and not even trying to detect flashy Flash's movements, and also Saitama exclaiming that Boros is strong multiple times and saying that it's almost a real fight.
You're tough. Cool.
Unlike, for example, Orochi, whom Saitama addressed with relative ease and showed no interest in. His most impressive feat, the fact that Saitama can land multiple hits on him while also being able to launch him into the moon in a matter of seconds. Another is the collapsing star roaring cannon, which was described as a planet buster attack in both the manga and the databook, and which required Saitama to use a serious punch to completely neutralize it. We know that Boros decreases with time as meteoric bursts eats away at his lifespan, and that it's likely that collapsing star roaring cannon would essentially deteriorate him up to the point of not being able to fight anymore. So I would say it's his last resort.
The battle was a hard-fought one.
Boros' admission that he wasn't even close to Saitama's level highlighted his intelligence and knowledge in a fight, which I might also mention.
You're just too strong.
Recognizing that he was holding back severely, along with comprehending the fact that Saitama is the planet's strongest warrior, stating at first glance that he holds immeasurable energy. Monster form Garou is at the strongest level he has ever reached on his own without the aid of God. He has become so strong that no hero is able to stand up to him. In fact, some opponents are essentially high dragons such as Platinum S, Orochi, Sage Centipede, and Ocean Natural Water, and Garou would be a tier higher than them. Garou's only known battle was with Saitama, and he was able to hold his own against him. Garou's ability to outmaneuver Saitama's attacks with his perfected Godslayer fist martial arts also serves as evidence of his exceptional close-quarters combat abilities, which enable him to keep growing stronger during battles. That combat ability from Garou had Saitama questioning himself as to why he couldn't hit Garou. Along with his exceptional durability, which allowed him to withstand several punches and consecutive normal punches from Saitama, Garou also possesses the ability to regenerate. He also tanked Saitama's series of serious punches that typically destroy a being at the microscopic level. Although this attack usually annihilates any opponent it is directed against, Garou was exhausted but otherwise doing fine. His greatest achievement was an attack that was powerful enough to cause a spatial distortion and break the dimensional seal. Additionally, it made Blast the most fearless hero, forcing him to confront whoever was responsible for this. It should be noted that in the original drawing of this chapter, Blast's companions were completely taken aback by his feat, with one of them remarking that he doubted any Earthling could accomplish it. However, this was changed in the redrawn version, showing only Blast mentioning the dimensional seal break. Some people argue that Garou's attack is limited to the city level because the aftermath of that attack only created a large dent in the mountain, which is obviously absurdly stupid, given that by this point, Garou is clearly above characters who are at the very least continental in nature, and that his attacks are most likely dense or more accurately compressed. It is clear at this point that Saitama's punch, which transforms Garou back into his human form, has defeated him. Boros versus monster form Garou. How would it go? Alright, now because we addressed their stats briefly, let's converse about how this will go down. Let's start by addressing an argument that people are prone to bring up regarding this matchup. The contention is that the Saitama who fought against Boros is a less powerful version than the one who fought against Garou, and the reason being that some tend to think that Saitama gets stronger every day to the point of overcoming himself from yesterday, and that's due to Dr. Kuseno's machine. I don't think that's exactly the case, as we have so many variables that contribute to this, such as Saitama saying to Janos that it's unreliable data, so it might be that this machine didn't take limit-breaking Saitama into account and brought a weaker version of himself, as the story itself clearly indicates that Saitama obviously would get stronger, but only when he is tested, and it has something to do with his intense emotions as evidenced in his fight against Cosmic Garou. However, I'm not claiming that Saitama is not strengthening at all, as Murata himself stated that Saitama is still training. All I'm saying is that his rate of development wouldn't be to the point of one-shotting himself from yesterday, alright? So for me, the two combatants, Boros and monster form Garou, are in close proximity to each other. Both of them hold exceptional speeds, strength, durability, and regeneration, and both were capable of obtaining hits on Saitama. Granted, Saitama was holding back severely against both, but when it comes to close-quarter combat, Garou obviously has the advantage over him, as he was capable of evading Saitama's punches and hitting him back. So he should be more than capable of doing the same thing to Boros. When it comes to speed, both of them are exceptionally fast. One was capable of exceeding both Platinum S and Flashy Flash and got severely stronger and faster after that, and the other amazed Saitama himself with his speed, the same Saitama who stopped Flashy Flash with ease. Since both of them survived consecutive normal punches, Garou also appears to have superior durability. However, when it comes to destructive capacity, Boros clearly has the advantage because his collapsing star-roaring cannon was confirmed to be a planet buster, and we've never seen anything on that level that was performed by Garou. In terms of strength, however, I would say they are fairly comparable. Some people believe that Boros' greatest strength accomplishment was kicking Saitama to the moon, which also caused damage to his ship, which is strong enough to resist Saitama jumping back down from the moon. I would go ahead and say that both of them can really harm each other somehow. If the collapsing star roaring cannon somehow connects with Garou, it would probably be enough to destroy him, but Garou has an advantage over everything else. I would see him adapting to meteoric burst movements, outmaneuvering his attacks, and dodging him enough so that Boros would be incapable of fighting due to his form eating his lifespan away, as Garou was capable of doing that to Saitama himself. Additionally, Garou has surpassed every opponent he has fought, especially in relation to his speed and how quick he is. He would, however, outmatch him in close quarters due to his abundance of fighting angles as well as his remarkable durability and stamina, which would enable him to push Boros past his breaking point. I understand that Boros' only chance to defeat Garou is to use his collapsing star-roaring cannon, but I don't see Garou allowing him to charge it up or just stay there and take the hit. I don't mind if either of them is stronger than the other, but if I have to pick one, I'll go with the character who was bullied in primary school and nearly killed everyone. In conclusion, Garou wins due to better speed, better close quarters combat, and better durability. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment down below, as I'd greatly appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe, as we're pushing towards 1,000 subscribers. Let me know if you'd like to see more One Punch Man related content, as it's one of my favorite anime. Check out my previous video where I discussed just how strong manga Goku is. If you're a Dragon Ball Super fan, I highly suggest you check that out, With that being said, I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.